Lay down on the mat. Knees bent if you have any tension on the lumbar spine, otherwise legs straight and rolled outward. Roll the arms outward, palm of the hand facing the sky. Slide the shoulder blades toward the waist and pull the back of your head away from the shoulders. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply and exhale fully with your mouth. Release all tensions. One more time. Relax your forehead, eyebrows, and the skin between the eyebrows. Relax your eyes and let them sink deeper into the skull. Relax the skin of your face and clench your jaw and let your lips open slightly. Relax your throat, your neck and shoulders, arms, forearms and hands. Relax your back, the muscles of your back and your spine, vertebra to vertebra. Relax your belly and the wall abdominal area. Relax your hips, your groins, relax your legs, knees, ankles and feet. Bring your attention into your breathing cycle and start observing every aspect of your breathing cycle. Which part of your body moves the most, chest or belly? If both moves, which one moves first? Observe without changing anything. Observe simply to know yourself. Observe the length of your breathing cycle. Inhalation and exhalation have the same length, or one of them is naturally longer. Observe the small pauses between inhalation and exhalation, and between exhalation and inhalation, the small moments where everything stops, even your breath. Become aware of the 4 phases of your breathing cycle: inhalation, pause, exhalation, pause, and even there, observe. Is one of the 2 pauses longer than the other? Observe also that your throat remains relaxed and open even during the pauses. 3 more observing breaths. At the end of the 3rd, take control and create a long, slow, steady breath. Observe your lungs filling up slowly and emptying slowly. Observe your body changing, expanding for the inhalation, and getting more compact for exhalation. Keep a long, slow, steady breath. Keep it easy. Allow your body to relax deeper and deeper with every exhalation. Long, slow, steady breath. With every breath, go deeper and deeper. Breathe deeper and deeper. Expand more and more your lungs, your rib cage, your belly. Feel more air into your lungs. With every breath, go beyond your normal breath. Feel a slight tension on your rib cage when you expand to your maximum. You can even try and expand your throat when you inhale. Allow your lungs to fill up more and more. Allow your chest to expand. Observe the small tension on the muscles of the rib cage. You can even observe your diaphragm moving. To allow deeper expansion of the lungs. Observe those feelings. Even if you're out of your comfort zone, even if these feelings are not super comfortable, since you're feeling tension at the end of the inhalation, both on the rib cage and on the belly maybe. Become aware how much air you can feel into your lungs. And now just for 3 breaths. Inhale at your maximum, feeling this small tension on the muscles of the rib cage and even on your throat or on your diaphragm. At the end of the inhalation, hold the breath. And while holding the breath, relax the muscle at your maximum, all the muscles of your body. And observe the different feelings that you can experience. You can even have more tensions in some areas. Even if you relax your muscles, just be aware of all those feelings. Observe this different experience on your body. And at the end of the third, go back to a normal breath, a relaxed one. Allow your breath to become lighter and lighter. And observe that you really need not a lot of air to live. Observe the small quantity of air that you need for your normal breath. Roll on your right side. Stay on your right side for a brief moment. before pushing with the left hand to sit up. Okay. Sit on your heels, knees wide. Put your hands over your thighs, belly in, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down as usual, and create circles with your lumbar spine. Try and not move your head and focus the movement just on the lower part of your body. Turn also on the other side. Beautiful. Okay, now put your hands down on the ground, not too far from your knees. Inhale. With the exhalation, roll your hips backward, push your spine back, round your spine and look at your belly. Inhale, roll your hips forward, push with your hands against the ground, slide the shoulder blades over the waist, arch your spine and look up. Exhale, look at your belly. Inhale, look up. One more time, exhale, look at your belly. Inhale, look up. Okay, tabletop position. Keep your knees together. Roll the arms outward, slide the shoulder blades over the waist. Inhale. With the exhalation, roll your hips backward, push the spine up, look at your belly. Inhale, roll your hips forward, allow the spine to drop, slide the shoulder blades over the waist and look up. Exhale, look at your belly. Inhale, look up. Keep the buttocks right above the knees, don't lean back. Exhale, look at your belly. Good. Inhale, look up. Perfect. Okay, now roll your arms outward, still in tabletop position. Roll your arms outward to have the inner part of your elbows facing forward. Keep the elbows right above the wrists. And bend the elbows without moving the forearm. So lean forward and push back up. So the hands and forearm doesn't move, not even 1 millimeter. It's just the upper part of your arms that lean forward and your shoulders that lean forward. Keep the elbows really close to the chest. Okay, look, come back up. You don't need to go really far. You can also just do kind of 45 degrees and then back up. Just like that. Don't overdo. Because otherwise we're gonna get fatigued quite soon. Okay, one more time. And come back up. Okay, now lay down on the mat. Belly down. Bring your arms forward. Okay. Keep the arms completely straight, but push the arm back into the shoulder socket. Inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head, your shoulders, and your arms. 3 breaths. Like you are Superman. And at the end of the third, come back down. Inhale deeply. With the exhalation, lift your head, shoulders, and arms. Bring the arms back into the shoulder socket. 3 breaths. So keep the shoulders wide. At the end of the third, down. One more time. Inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head, shoulders, and arms. Lift your legs. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, come back down. Now, put your hands close to the lower rib cage, lower part of the rib cage. So more or less, the elbows are right over the wrists. Okay. Keep the elbows close to each other. And now push the elbows toward the waist. Okay. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. Keep moving the elbows closer to the waist or even to the buttocks. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, go down. Okay, put your hands back on the on the lower part of the rib cage. Inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head, shoulders, bring the elbows closer to each other. Move the elbows closer to the buttocks and start pushing with the hands against the ground to lift your torso just a tiny bit. Belly in and go down. Inhale. With the exhalation, lift your head, shoulders, bring the elbows closer to the buttocks, push with the hands against the ground, belly in, and lift your torso. More, more, more. Push with the hands. Yes. Keep it there. Keep the elbows really close, touching the rib cage, and down. Okay, relax completely. 3 breaths. We're gonna do it one more time. So put your hands back on the ground. Keep the elbows close to each other. Keep the elbows moving toward the buttocks. Lift your head, lift your torso. Start activating your abdomen, your lumbar muscles, but also your abdominal muscles. Start pushing with the hands against the ground. Lift your torso a little bit more. Stay there. Belly in. And go down. Okay, 3 breaths. Turn your head on the other side and gaze. At the end of the third, put your elbows right under your shoulders and the forearm parallel onto the ground. Okay, now push your elbows down to lift your torso. Belly in. Look in front of you. Slide the shoulder blades toward the waist. Belly in. Lift your legs. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, release the legs, but keep the position of the torso. Now, push the hands down on the ground, belly in, and push and straighten your arms. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, belly in. Nope. Put your hands down on the ground. Yes. Belly in to protect your lumbar spine. You can even, at the beginning, you can even squeeze your buttocks to protect even more your lumbar spine. And go down. I said at the beginning because the more you do it, the more you will be able to relax the buttocks and control the retroversion of the hips with other muscles, with more saddle muscles. Okay. Now we're gonna do it one more time. So keep your elbows right under the shoulders. Keep your forearm parallel, hands firmly on the ground, belly in, sternum lifted. Okay. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale deeply. Activate your abdominal muscles and push with the hands against the ground to straighten your arms. In case you can keep your arms slightly bent. If it's a little bit too hard for your shoulder blade, for your lumbar spine, keep the belly in, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Okay, all the way down, push with the hands against the ground and enter a child pose. Find the version that you prefer and relax for 5 breaths. At the end of the 5th, slowly come back up. Tabletop position. Roll your arms outwards, slide the shoulder blades over the waist. Step back with your knees. Put your feet as wide as a mat. Tuck your toes under. Inhale deeply. With the exhalation, buttocks back and shoulders down. Keep the shoulders down and really slowly start straightening your legs. 5 breaths. Keep on pushing the chest over the toes. Roll the arms outward. Keep the arms well into the shoulder socket and keep the shoulders wide. At the end of the 5th breath, lean forward for your plank pose, just for 2 breaths, no more than that. Belly in, concentrate on your belly, tuck the tailbone under. At the end of the 2nd breath, go back into Adho Mukha Svanasana and walk back with your hands to enter Uttanasana with wide legs. Relax your arms, your wrists, your shoulders. Put the weight of your body on the ball of the feet and just relax. Deep breaths. At the end of the 3rd, walk forward with your hands to enter your plank pose again. Belly in, focus on your belly. Tuck the tailbone under. Yes, exactly like that. Perfect. Now put your knees down. And now keep your shoulders right over your wrists. Okay. Roll your arms outward to have the inner part of your elbows facing forward. Bend your elbows and lean forward. 45 degrees, no more than that. Push back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk back, Uttanasana. Put your hands on the waist and without bending your legs, really slowly activate your leg muscles to lift your torso up. Okay. So now I want you to take the chair, the yoga chair. The chair on the front of the mat. Put your right feet under the chair, left feet back, roughly at 1 meter from the right feet. Keep your hip squared. Push the big toes down, but create a spiraling action from the big toe to the outer hip. So you're kind of just rotating the legs outward, but on the meantime, you're pushing down the big toes on both legs. Okay. Put your hands on the waist, sternum, lift the shoulder blades down. Belly in. Roll your hips forward. Keep on pushing even more your right big toes down. Keep the 2 legs active. Now, put your hands on either side of your chair. Okay. So now it's easy to be in this position, kind of easy. So we can focus a little bit more on your legs. So we already started the spiraling action, but I want you to activate your legs in a really conscious way. So imagine that you want to bend both knees. You can even bend your knees just a tiny bit, but then without losing this bending action of your legs, start also a counteraction movement of straightening the legs. And feel the force, the strengthening on your legs, the stability on your legs. So keep those 3 actions. The first one is the spiraling one. Second one, you want to bend the legs. Third one, you want to straighten your legs. And even if it's more challenging because you're activating almost every muscles of your leg, feel the strength that you have, the stability that you have. Nothing can move you. Feel strong, because you are strong, actually. Okay, now, without compromising all those actions, put your hands on the waist and really slowly, take your time, really, really slowly, lift your torso up without compromising the 3 actions. Okay. And now change leg. Left one under the chair, a little bit forward. Okay. Right one back, roughly 1 meter between the 2 legs. Hips squared. Now start working on your stability by pressing the big toes down. Okay, now create this spiraling action from the big toes to the outer hips. Okay. Hands on the waist, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. And slowly roll your hips forward, activate your legs, and put your hands on the chair. Okay, now focus on all those movements that we did on the first side. So keep on pushing the big toes down, but spiral out to keep the alignment of the knees. That's the idea of the spiraling action. Now, start bending your knees But counteract this movement by straightening your legs. Keep the two movement in place. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel the stability. Feel the force. Keep on pushing the big toes down, spiraling out, bending and straightening on the same time. Stay there. Focus on all those movements, all those different movements. A different perspective of the movement, more conscious. Without compromising those movements, put your hands on the waist and really slowly come back up. Strong, stable. Okay. Now we're going to do something different. We already worked on the stability, on the force, but now put your right feet over the chair. The right feet is roughly in the middle of the chair, but on the right side. Okay, put your hands on the waist, tuck the tailbone under. So I want you to feel the stretch on your left groin. Already there. And still keeping this retroversion of the hips, belly in. Start bending your right knee to lean forward. Keep your hips squared and keep your right knee right above the right heel. Push your left heel back. Okay, you can even bend a little bit more your right knee. Okay, that's good. And come back up. Change side. So put your left feet over your chair, roughly in the middle of the chair, but on the left side. Belly in, and already there, start stretching the right groin. Keep your hips squared and start bending your left knee. Keep your belly in and keep on stretching the right groin. 3 breaths. Keep on pushing the right heel down to keep the right leg straight. And back up. Okay, now, this is a little bit harder for the balance. So in case, you can even put your chair against the wall. Not needed. I'm not gonna do it against the wall, but it can be easier. So I want you to put your right feet almost on the back edge of the chair. I want you to bend your knee and grab the chair. Okay, so now you will see that it's lighter on the front side of the chair. So I want you to push the left heel back, kind of keeping your root there. So I want you to root your left heel down, but I want you to push the hip forward to stretch your groin. Sternum lifted, belly in. Keep on rooting the left heel down, belly in. Almost done. Okay, now straighten your right leg, but keep the hands on the chair. Sternum lifted. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, lift your torso and change leg. So put your left feet almost on the back edge of the chair. Okay. Keep your hips squared, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, belly in. Bend your knee, grab the chair, and root your right heel down. Rooting your right heel down, start pushing your hip forward, sternum lifted. Keep on rooting your right heel down. Feel the stretch on your right groin. 3 breaths. Keep on pushing the right heel down. And at the end of the third breath, straighten your left leg. Keep the sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, 3 breaths. More. Keep on stretching. Okay, that's good. 3 breaths. At the end of the third breath, find the stability. So push with the inner right side of the feet to give you a little bit more stability. Push evenly with your heel, left heel against the chair. Put your hands on the waist and come back up. Okay, good. Now, put both hands on the chair. Walk back with your feet to do a sort of Adho Mukha Svanasana. Quite easy Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you can focus a little bit more on the shoulder and arm. So you don't have a lot of weight now on your arms. So you can focus on the position. So roll the arms outward and observe the shoulders becoming wider. Allow the head to move down freely toward the ground. Push the arm back into the shoulder socket, but keep the arm straight. Straight and active. It disappeared. Stay there. Yay, you're back. Okay, perfect. Keep on rolling the arms outward. Keep the arms straight. Now, I want you to push with the toes against the ground, like you want to move the buttocks back. So you simply push with the front of the feet against the ground. And I want you to feel a sort of stretch on the back of your shoulders and spine. Like you're stretching the whole spine. Walk forward. Now we're gonna work on a different stretch on the groin. So put the chair on the left side of the mat. And put the left leg inside the chair. The left one. The right one is out of the chair. The right one is inside the chair. Okay. But now I want you to sit on the chair, and I want you to feel and to have the inner left leg in contact with the right side of the chair. Yes, exactly. Okay. Now, keep your hips squared. So when you're in this position, you're kind of leaning to the side. So try and push just slightly with the right big toes to just keep your body stable. Okay. Now, focus on the hips. I want you to have the hips completely parallel to the bar of the chair. So just check yourself. Check your body. You have the right side of the hips a little bit back. Even more. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, keep the right knee right under the hips, not back, but right under the hips. Okay. Now, from this position, push the belly in and observe that you're going to stretch the right thigh. Just with this simple position. This simple movement of belly in will help stretching your thigh, your right thigh. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Now, even if it seems impossible, push your right heel back. And I want you to feel a small tension on the groin. Keep the belly in. 3 breaths. Keep the right knee quite close to the chair. Okay. Now, walk slightly back with your right feet. Find the alignment again. So keep the hip completely squared, belly in, but now push the heel a little bit back, a little bit more. And focus on your groin, on your psoas, on the hips. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades in. 3 breaths. Belly in. More. Okay. Relax. And walk just a tiny bit back with your feet, even more. First thing first, so check the alignment. Keep the hips squared. The position of the hips is really important in this position because if you have the hips open and you do this, you're not going to feel anything on your groin. So the positioning of the hips is really fundamental. Once that you have the hips completely squared, belly in, and I want you to already feel something on your thigh. Without compromising those two control of your body, start pushing the heel back. So if you do it properly, you don't need to move a lot to feel quite a bit on your groin. Keep the belly in. More, more, more. I really want you to feel the back of your, the lumbar spine long. Okay, that's good. And release. This is the feeling that you need to experience roughly in Virabhadrasana I. So now let's change leg. So put the chair on the right side of the mat, Slide the right feet inside the chair. Keep the right leg close to the chair. Now, first, put your left knee right under the hip and belly in. Just that. Keep the right and the left knee quite close to the chair, belly in, and observe the stretch on your thigh. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Now, walk back with your left feet, just a tiny bit. Well, actually, a little bit more. Okay, now, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, belly in. Focus on your belly to create this retroversion of the hips, to lengthen your lumbar spine. Keep the hips completely squared, completely parallel to the bar of the chair. And keep in all those positions without compromising your position. Push the left heel back and observe the deeper stretch on your thigh and groin. Belly in, sternum lifted. Okay, release. Walk back more with your feet. Find your alignment. So align your hips. You can even use the chair to help you twist a little bit more, because when you twist, the hips will follow. Once that you have the hips in the good position, then you can adjust your torso. Now, belly in. Focus on lengthening the lumbar spine and push your left heel back. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, belly in. 3 breaths. And release. Okay, now put the chair roughly in the middle of the chair of the mat. Slide the left feet inside and put your hamstring, left hamstring, completely on the chair. Now, lean forward, just to be comfortable with your arms over the bar of the chair. Now, straighten your right leg. And focus on your hips. So keep your hips squared. So in case you can even lean a little bit more, move a little bit more on the right side of the chair to have your right leg free to move, in case. Keep your hips completely squared. Once that you have the heel completely squared, tap your tailbone under, lift your torso, belly in. Okay, to help you control your hips, because your hips keep on opening to the side. Push the right heel to the right, like you want to turn your leg inward. Straighten your leg, straighten your right leg. More. Okay, now for real. Straighten your legs completely and roll it inward to have the hips squared. You don't have the hips squared, not yet. Belly in, sternum lifted. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, I want you to lift your hips just 2 centimeters and stay there. So you're not really using the chair anymore, but the position is there. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. 3 breaths. And release. Different way of working on the Virabhadrasana. Change leg. So right leg in, left leg out. So just to help you keep the hips squared, I want you to actually move the chair a little bit more to the right, so you will have the left leg and left side of the hip free to move. So it will be kind of easier to find the alignment. So now, lean forward and straighten your left leg. Once that you have your left leg straight, push your heel back to help you straighten your left leg. And keep your hip squared, completely squared. So actually, push the left heel a little bit out to the side. So it will help you drop the left side of your hips and counteract the natural movement of opening in this position. Okay. Keep the left leg completely straight, belly in, and lift your torso. Sternum lifted, belly in, and observe the stretch on your left groin and thigh. Keep on pushing the heel back and to the side. 3 breaths. Belly in, tailbone down. Now, push with the right heel down to lift your hip just a tiny bit. But keep all the other movement in place. So keep on pushing the left heel back and to the left. Belly in, sternum lifted. You're not really seated on the chair now. Lift it. And release. Okay, good. Now, take the chair, turn the chair on the other side. We already did it 2 days ago, so we can do it again. If you want to, you can put a folded blanket over the bar of the chair. Otherwise, just lean forward, put the bones, the hip bones, over the chair, and allow your spine to relax. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, relax even deeper for 3 breaths. And at the end of the third, push with the hands against the ground and lift you up. Okay, take the chair away. Right feet forward, left leg back, a lot back. Like you still had the chair under your hamstring. So bend your right knee and imagine that you still have the chair. I want you to recreate exactly the same feelings that you had at the end of the work that we did with the chair. So keep on pushing the right and the left heel back and to the side. Belly in, sternum lifted. Stay there, 3 breaths. At the end of the third, lean forward Put your hands down on the ground. Walk forward with your left feet. Lean forward and lift your left leg up. 90 degrees between the two legs, no more than that. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, bend your left leg, put the 2 feet together. Lean forward. Lift your right leg up, 90 degrees between the 2 legs. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. 3 breaths. Roll the right leg inward to keep the right side of the hip squared. Bend your left leg. Allow the right feet to go down to the ground. Walk back with your right feet. Right feet back, okay. Now, bend your left knee. Lift your torso and recreate the same feelings that you had with the chair. So roll your hip, the right hip forward, inward. Push the right heel to the side to keep your hips squared. Belly in, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Strong, steady. There. Good. And come back up. Virabhadrasana. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Lean on your left leg. Lift your right leg. Stay there. 3 breaths. At the end of the third breath, grab with both hands your right knee and move the right knee toward the chest. 3 breaths. At the end of the third breath, grab with both hands your right feet. You can do it. Lean forward. Keep the chest next to keep the knee next to the chest. Okay. Good. And really slowly start straightening your right leg forward. Yes. Good. Awesome. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, come back up. Virabhadrasana. Yeah, it's a different thing. I know. Lean on your right leg. Lift your left knee. 3 breaths. Stay there. You already know what you're going to do. And you already know that you already did it on the other side. So your mind won't catch any excuse. Now, lean your torso forward and grab with both hands your feet. Good. Now, straighten your left leg in front of you. Good. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, release and come back up. Awesome. Put the feet wider than your hips. Bend your knees and create circles with your hips. Both on one side and on the other side. Okay, now move on the back of the mat. Put your hands on the waist. Put the feet almost as wide as the mat. Roll your hips forward. Uttanasana with wide legs. Relax your arms, your shoulders, your belly. Now, bend your knees, put your hands on the ground, walk forward with your hands to enter Adho Mukha Svanasana. Straighten your legs, push the chest over the toes. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, lean forward and find your plank pose. Keep the arms and the hands right under the shoulders, not forward, but right under. Okay, that's good. Bend belly in. Lower your hips. More. Keep the arms straight. Okay, now put your knees down, but push your heels, your hips forward to create a straight line from the shoulders to the knees. Straight line, belly in, activate your belly, more, lengthen your lumbar spine. Okay, now roll your arms outward, bend your elbows, keep the elbows close to the chest, lower down, more. Stay there. Keep the elbows close to the chest. Lift the sternum forward and go down, all the way down. Okay. You've earned Shavasana. Yeah, already. So you take everything you need to be comfortable in Shavasana. Find your comfortable position of Shavasana. And at the beginning, just observe. Observe your muscles. Observe your body. You worked quite hard and really conscious. Fully conscious of all the movement and all the different parts of your body that needed to be activated. Feel the life in you. Feel alive. Feel strong. Feel stable. And be happy for all those feelings. Be grateful to yourself. At the end of Shavasana, I'm going to chant the mantra. And at the end of the mantra, I'm going to guide you out of the pose. Till that moment, just relax. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritam Gamaya. Slowly, start moving your toes and fingers. Bring back the awareness into your body. Inhale deeply and exhale fully with your mouth. Release all tensions. One more time. Gently stretch your body. Bend your knees and roll on your right side. Stay on your right side for a brief moment before pushing the left hand to sit up. Sit comfortably for the chant of 3 Om. Keep your spine straight yet relaxed. Hands in Nidana Mudra, Uchi Mudra. Eyes closed. Inhale deeply. Put your hands in prayer position in front of the chest. Open your eyes. Namaste.